Sarawak pledges to remain in Malaysia, Boris Johnson to face a vote of confidence, and South Korea and United States launch missiles in response to North Korea's test. Those are the headlines for tonight. Good evening, everyone. You're with me, Douglas Elliott, and this is TVS Nightline. The state-level celebration of the Yang di-Pertuan Agong Al-Sultan Abdullah Riyatuddin Al-Mustafa Bilal Shah's official birthday today saw Sarawak pledging to remain in the Federation of Malaysia. Noting that His Majesty cares deeply for the people of Sarawak, Premier Datuk Petinggi Tan Sri Abang Johari Tun Openg said His Majesty has made several visits to the state this year.
Sebagai sebahagian dari wilayah yang menubuh negara Malaysia, kita akan terus bersama dalam Malaysia dan membangun seperti termaktub dalam Perlembagaan dan Perjanjian Malaysia 1963.
According to him, the Sarawak government has planned several strategies, including the post-COVID-19 Development Strategy 2030, which will be implemented to ensure the state continues to develop and that economic revenue could continue to be distributed comprehensively to the people. Abang Johari said the Sarawak government is targeting economic growth of 6 to 8% a year to make Sarawak a high-income state by 2030. He also said the birthday celebration was the first major physical event held following the COVID-19 pandemic, and Sarawak will host more events physically, including the Sarawak Day celebration on July 22nd and National Day on August 31st.
The Sarawak government has approved a sum of 353 million ringgit on Monday to implement various development projects in KAPIT. Premier of Sarawak, Datuk Petinggi Tan Sri Abang Johari Tun Openg said one of the development projects is to alleviate traffic congestion in the division.
KAPIT penuh dengan traffic jam. This is the success of our development plan. And KAPIT will definitely become a major town dengan adanya pendekatan pembangunan yang sedang berlaku di bahagian KAPIT. Untuk tanda mengucap terima kasih kepada orang KAPIT dan untuk menyelesaikan masalah traffic jam yang ada di KAPIT ini, kita akan menaik taraf jalan seluruh bandar KAPIT dengan harga 190 juta. Kita luluskan pada hari ini.
Abang Johari made this announcement in his speech during the tea banquet in conjunction with the state-level birthday celebration of Yang di-Pertuan Agong Al-Sultan Abdullah Riyatuddin Al-Mustafa Bilal Shah at KAPIT Town Square on Monday. The Premier also mentioned another development project which he said would cost 105 million ringgit and involve the road construction between Ulus Sungai KAPIT'S and Jalan Sungai Bangkit.
Kita sedang membangun Sungai Tunoh dan sudah tentu Tunoh berkendakan elektrik. Kita akan membangunkan juga grid elektrik daripada KAPIT ke Tunoh yang mempunyai distance 35 kilometer.
Earlier, Abang Johari also conveyed his appreciation to the people of Sarawak, including those from KAPIT, for the huge mandate given to the Gabungan Parti Sarawak GPS in the last state election. Similarly, the Sarawak government has approved an allocation of 2 million ringgit for repair works of the KAPIT'S iconic Lily Pond. Abang Johari said that he has agreed to the matter after being briefed on the pond's need for repairs.
Mereka berkendakan perbaikan, harganya lebih kurang 2 juta saja. Jadi kita akan menambah baik Lily Pond ini sebagai tarikan, khususnya kepada pelancong yang hendak datang ke Ulu Rajang.
He said the allocation was necessary to upgrade the pond as an attraction spot for tourists visiting Hulu Rajang.
UK Prime Minister Boris Johnson is set to face a vote of confidence on Monday after a growing number of lawmakers in the governing Conservative Party questioned the British leader's authority over the Partygate scandal. Johnson has been under growing pressure after a report that documented alcohol-fueled parties when Britain was under strict COVID-19 lockdowns surfaced.
At the Platinum Jubilee celebration of Queen Elizabeth over the weekend, Johnson was met with a chorus of jeers and boos from the people. Johnson was also attacked by one-time ally Jessie Norman, a former junior minister who said the Prime Minister staying in power insulted both the electorate and the party. He's just one of growing number of Conservative lawmakers who have voiced concern over whether Johnson has lost his authority to govern Britain, which is facing the risk of recession, rising prices and strike-inflicted travel chaos in the capital, London.
Say that the threshold of 15% of the Parliamentary Party seeking a vote of confidence in the Prime Minister has been passed. Therefore, a vote of confidence will take place within the rules of the 1922 committee. That vote will take place this evening.
A vote will be held between 6 p.m. and 8 p.m. local time on Monday, and the voters will be counted immediately afterwards. Should Johnson lose a confidence vote, he will be removed as Prime Minister and there will be a leadership contest to decide his replacement.
In local crime update, police in Julau have arrested 2 men who are suspected to have molested and raped a 14-year-old girl with disabilities. The arrest came after the victim's mother lodged a police report on Sunday, June 5th. In a statement on Monday, Julau District Police Chief DSP Andam Sulin said the complainant claimed that the victim's stepfather and a foreigner had molested her 14-year-old daughter who has a disability at about 6:45 p.m. on June 4th. The 2 men were then arrested on the same day the complainant filed the report. Andam said the Sarawak Magistrates Court had granted a 7-day remand on the 2 suspects. The case is being investigated under Section 376 and 376B of the Penal Code. If found guilty, the offence under Section 376 of the Penal Code carries a jail term of not less than 5 years and not more than 20 years, while Section 376B carries an imprisonment of not less than 6 years but not more than 20 years and also liable for whipping. A police officer suffered a broken wrist on his left hand after being hit by a motorcycle on Sunday around 1:30 p.m. at Jalan Tun Datuk Petinggi Haji Abdul Rahman Yaakob. Acting Kuching Police Chief Superintendent Mervin Lisa in a statement said the officer is currently serving with the patrol team from Kuching Police Headquarters. Prior to the hit and run, the officer was about to inspect a vehicle when both suspects came from behind, hitting him on the left side. He was then rushed to the hospital by another officer. Mervin further said that they have not identified the registration number nor the type of motorcycle that both suspects were on. He urged members of the public to channel any information related to the incident by directly being in touch with the traffic investigation officer via the number shown. Ongoing investigations are conducted under Section 43(1) of the Road Transport Act 1987, which carries the punishment of compound of not more than 5,000 ringgit and not less than 10,000 ringgit and a jail time of not more than 12 months. The General Operations Force, or GOF Sarawak Brigade, have seized 13 boxes containing 11,700 turtle eggs worth over 100,000 ringgit and detained 2 local men in their latest success under Op Khazanah. Its commander, Senior Assistant Commissioner Dr. Che Ghazali Che Awang, in a statement on Monday said the seizure took place in Lawas on Saturday at 10 a.m. He said the suspects, who were in a 4-wheel drive vehicle, were detained by a team from Company C Battalion 12 at the Marapok Immigration Customs Quarantine and Security Complex after the turtle eggs were found in the vehicle. He added all the eggs were believed to be destined to be smuggled out to a neighboring country and an 80,000 ringgit vehicle was also seized. The two suspects and the seized items were handed over to the Sarawak Forestry Corporation in Lawas for further action. The case is being investigated under Section 29(1) of the Sarawak Wildlife Protection Ordinance. Coming up after the break, Agong called upon the restoration of confidence in the country's ability and government taking cautious approach to stabilize food prices and supply. Right here on TVS Nightline. Stay tuned. You're watching TVS Nightline. Yang di-Pertuan Agong Al-Sultan Abdullah Riyatuddin Al-Mustafa bin Shah said any deficit of confidence in the country's ability must be addressed soon to enable the countries to rise again on the world stage. To realize that, His Majesty said the country needs a stable government, apart from being supported by an efficient, transparent, business-friendly and people-friendly service delivery system and governance.
Demi untuk merancangkan pertumbuhan ekonomi dan menjadikan negara sebagai pilihan pelaburan utama di rantau ini, ianya menuntut persefahaman dan pengorbanan semua pihak untuk mewujudkan lanskap politik yang lebih stabil dan lebih berterusan. Beta benar-benar berharap agar segala percaturan politik dapat diselesaikan segera demi untuk mengelak negara dari terus terjerumus ke kancah defisit keyakinan yang boleh menjejaskan imej dan masa hadapan negara.
His Majesty said this when gracing the investiture ceremony of federal awards and honours in conjunction with his official birthday celebration at Istana Negara in Kuala Lumpur on Monday. At the same time, His Majesty also expressed his gratitude that the country recorded improvements in economic growth last year.
Langkah ini diambil setelah kerajaan Beta mengimbangi strategi pengurusan kesihatan berbanding dengan pemulihan semula ekonomi negara yang terjejas sebelum ini. Beta berkeyakinan pembukaan sepadan negara mampu untuk menjana dan memulihkan semula ekonomi negara.
The Yang di-Pertuan Agong said to ensure the survival and resilience of the economy post-COVID-19 pandemic, the government should continue wisely and take opportunities by exploring various new and innovative strategies. A total of 1,021 individuals are conferred federal awards, honours and medals this year in conjunction with the Yang di-Pertuan Agong's official birthday.
The government is taking a cautious approach to the latest global developments, especially the issue of food supply and rising food prices, which affected the well-being of Malaysians. Prime Minister Dato Sri Ismail Sabri Yaakob said to address the economic crisis due to the pandemic and the Russia-Ukraine conflict, the government has formulated short, medium and long-term measures to stabilize food supplies and prices.
Kerajaan Tuanku telah melaksanakan fasa pertama program pembasmian kemiskinan tegar keluarga Malaysia pada bulan lepas, melibatkan 80 lokaliti bandar, luar bandar termasuk perkampungan orang asli bagi membawa mereka keluar dari kepompong kemiskinan. Kehidupan rakyat miskin dan pendapatan rendah terus dibela supaya mereka dapat menikmati kehidupan yang selesa.
Ismail Sabri said the 5 short-term measures were among the government's approaches to protecting the entire Malaysian from the burden of rising prices of goods, apart from various subsidies which are expected to reach 71 billion ringgit this year. He said these were followed by several medium and long-term measures to stabilize the supply and prices of food. In the meantime, the Prime Minister said Malaysia would continue to voice its stand in safeguarding the interests and sovereignty of the country, as well as bring the voice for global peace into the international arena. Prime Minister Dato Sri Ismail Sabri Yaakob said the government will ensure that matters involving trade industry players and investors are facilitated and the civil service delivery system is improved. He said this is in line with the government's commitment to boost performance and further stimulate domestic direct investment.
Sebagai contoh, sepanjang suku pertama 2022, pelaburan langsung asing bersih meningkat kepada 24.4 bilion ringgit berbanding 18.4 bilion ringgit pada suku keempat tahun lalu. Jumlah perdagangan luar berkembang sebanyak 23.6% kepada 624.9 bilion ringgit, manakala aliran masuk bersih dana asing kekal konsisten dengan jumlah 7.4 bilion ringgit setakat ini.
Ismail Sabri said the government's effort to revive the economy post-COVID-19 pandemic is increasingly bearing fruits and are seeing strong momentum.
Ekonomi negara telah mencatat pertumbuhan sebanyak 3.1% pada tahun 2021 berbanding penguncupan sebanyak 5.6% pada tahun sebelumnya. Bagi tahun ini, kerajaan Tuanku bertekad memacu ekonomi untuk mencapai pertumbuhan di antara 5.3% sehingga 6.3% sebagaimana yang diunjurkan.
The Prime Minister said the border reopening was also assisting economic recovery efforts, especially in the tourism sector, with a rise in inbound tourist arrival. He further added that 2 million foreign tourists are expected to visit Malaysia this year, which would contribute 8.6 billion ringgit to the national economy. Welcome back. In foreign development, South Korea and the United States fired 8 surface-to-surface missiles off South Korea's east coast on Monday, after North Korea launched a barrage of short-range ballistic missiles the day before. South Korean military described the action as a demonstration of the capability and readiness to carry out precision strike against North Korea's missile launches. 8 surface-to-surface missiles were fired about 10 minutes, starting at 4:45 a.m. local time on Monday, in response to the 8 test missiles fired by the North Korea on Sunday, which South Korean president said have reached a level which pose a threat to regional and world peace. North Korea has conducted a number of missile launches this year, including its largest intercontinental ballistic missiles for the first time in nearly 5 years. An Australian Prime Minister Anthony Albanese announced a deepened relationship with Indonesia, pledging stronger cooperation on trade, security and climate change during a meeting with President Joko Widodo on Monday. And this marks the first overseas visit of the newly elected Prime Minister.
Accompanied by a high-profile business delegation, Albanese stressed the importance of engaging with Southeast Asia's largest economy.
Indonesia is on track to be one of the world's 5 largest economies. Revitalising our trade and investment relationship is a priority for my government, and it's why we plan to work with Indonesia to realise the potential of the Indonesia-Australia Comprehensive Economic Partnership Agreement.
Australia also set off its technical expertise for the development of Indonesia's new plan, New Green and High-Tech Capital, Nusantara. Albanese also reiterated a $388.6 million pledge for overseas development in Indonesia and Southeast Asia, and $144 million climate partnership, and the creation of a new Southeast Asia office in Australia's Department of Foreign Affairs and Trade. The trip comes as Australia's new Labour government, which ended almost a decade of Conservative rule in a May 21st election, signals a greater emphasis on relations with Southeast Asia and climate change, an issue crucial to its Pacific neighbours, as it navigates ties with a more assertive China.
There is a growing concern among health experts that the monkeypox and other infectious diseases could be transmitted to animals via human medical waste. Monkeypox cases have been reported in 26 countries, with more than 650 cases, according to a statement by the World Health Organization, WHO.
Because we are concerned about rodents picking this up, so we do have to think about human medical waste, like behind a rural local clinic. If they're putting their waste outside until it's disposed of properly later in the week, you have an opportunity for animals to tear those bags open and for rodents to get in there and get infected. So we want to always be thinking also about that biosafety, biosecurity aspect to prevent. That's another opportunity for spillback, in addition to just direct spillback from an infected human to an animal. We might be doing it through medical waste.
As the virus circulates outside of Africa, there is an opportunity for spillback into animal populations, which can potentially make the virus endemic in countries beyond Africa. Several countries in Africa have experienced sporadic monkeypox outbreaks since the virus was first discovered in the 70s.
So we do see a wide geographic scope, and certainly with the large number of cases in large number of countries that have reported cases that are not used to seeing monkeypox, this suggests to us widespread human-to-human transmission is currently underway. That has likely have been ongoing for several weeks, if not months.
Meanwhile, in Singapore, a visitor who transited to Singapore from Barcelona has tested positive for monkeypox. 13 people were identified as possible casual contact of the man in question, who is currently under phone surveillance for 21 days. The country's Ministry of Health, MOH, however, successfully contained the virus from spreading, as the traveller did not enter Singapore or interact with anyone. He departed from Barcelona on June 1st and arrived at the Changi airport the day after. Authorities also verified his movement while he was at the airport that the victim had remained in the transit holding area until his departure for Sydney on the same day. As precautionary measures, Singapore MOH said it had conducted contact tracing for the two affected flights, who might have come into contact with the traveller at the airport transit area.
Craving for some traditional meal, yet don't have the time for it? Well, there's instant linnet, an ingenious invention by a local lecturer. Join Wan Alif and Ghazali as I speak with Dr. Siti Mardina Abdul Hamid, lecturer and founder of Instant Linnet, at 7:30 a.m. on Sejahtera Asia tomorrow, only on TVS Astro Channel 122 and My Free View. See the world closer with TVS as we bring you the latest news updates, both locally and internationally, just a click away by heading on to our website at TVSTVMY or follow us on our social media platforms. And that's all the time we have for TVS Nightline. I'm Doug Khalid. Thank you for watching.